So, how did you find FFE?
Man, so during COVID, I was I've first of all, I've been playing Blood and Iron since I was literally 7 years old. It's been over 10 years, and during COVID, I figured out that there's actual groups that like to play the game together and do line battles and all that sort of stuff. And I figured, hey, why not join us? So I found the Blood and Iron community Discord, and I saw that FFE was an option. It was like kind of small nation, so I figured, oh, okay, well, what can go wrong here? And I joined it, and my first day in FFE, I still remember, man. Like the salt welcomed me like to the first drill, and it was like really fun. So that's how I remember.
What was your opinion on Dassault and his leadership during the beginning of FFE?
Man, so like, I remember that first battle I went to. It was against this British faction called owned by Kratoxi, and like all the veterans know what I'm talking about. And I was actually a reserve member. I wasn't like on the primary Blood and Iron roster, and I saw he somehow defeated the enemy within like seconds. Sometimes, I'm like I was just impressed. I'm like, okay, we have something winning here, And his leadership style revolves heavily around morale of the troops. Like in those VCs, it gets really, really hype, and like when you're static and everything, you do better, I think, and it sort of forms that community sense, and we did really good that day. Like he's like his leadership style really revolves around each individual being a really happy person, and in turn they fight better, and we win a lot of battles that way.
So, when did the meme of you shooting your own people come to existence?
Me personally,
Because remember, there was the meme of you on the cannon as the minions, and the cannon went down and you shot into your own friendlies. When did that become a
oh,
thing?
that's not me.
That was not you?
That it's Liam Craft.
What was your opinion on it?
Man, we spent at least 30 minutes. You know how battles be when other people are involved. They take forever to rally and shit.
Yes.
And we we spent 30 minutes getting everyone nice in that column. Everyone looking hella good. You can see me if you look in that photo, I'm an officer in one of the front lines, and Liam's like, "Oh yeah, let's just let's just fire a explosive shot into this column and see what happens." And we all fucking die. It's like, holy shit, Liam. Like if you hear the audio, it's like the salt was so pissed. It was fucking funny as shit. Like, goddamn, bro, we spent 30 minutes putting this thing together just for it to be blown up in a matter of seconds. Like, he'll never live that down. It's one of the best memories in this group.
What did you enjoy so much about FFE besides how friendly and how much it was a community together?
I enjoyed winning a lot, right? So I feel personally I was a big part of that equation. I'm not trying to say like I'm better than everybody, but I spent a lot of time with people in my regiment, like the Young Guard Rifles. We spent a lot of time perfecting our craft, and once you start doing that, you start realizing, holy shit, you can go in public servers and dominate 10v1s easily if you just have time to reload. And it's like, damn, I'm good at this game. And when you have so many people like that put together and you start winning, it's just like, sure, it's fun to have game nights and all that, but it brings you a lot more satisfaction when you can go and onto the battlefield and know you're better than the enemy. And I feel like that was really cool too.
When do you think that FFE became the most popular and when a lot of recruits started joining?
Can you repeat that?
When did you think that the FFE became the most popular when a lot of troops started joining in?
When do I think FFE became the most popular? Man, That well, see, we like FFE grows in spurts. You know what I'm saying? Like
I saw that very
we,
often in my few weeks of being in.
yeah. It's like we never you experience a lot of growth, but you don't notice it because the rally sort of stays the same sometimes. Like I was part of an FFE. I was part of that battle where we rallied 80, and then literally a week later, we rallied 40, and then 20. It's like we grow in spurts. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like a lot of recruits started joining immediately after we joined new communities. Like we joined so many communities over like the 4 years, like Blood and Iron, NOE, like all these crazy communities that never last more than a couple months. But every time we joined a new community, I felt like, and we started winning in them too. Like we were always the top faction at all times because we were so skilled. And once people start seeing like, oh, you can win everywhere you go, then they start joining. But then after the community dies down, so does the group.
Are you surprised about how long FFE lasted?
No, not at all. I'm pretty sure every single person who's a marshal right now joined when they were like 12 years old, including myself. Like we were all very little kids, and we we have a lot of free time. You know, like we're not fully functioning adults yet. And I figured, like, if the core members of the group are this young population, then it can last a very long time. So 4 years is pretty long, actually. Yeah.
So you feel like if FFE had more younger people, that it could last another year?
Oh, it could last another year, like right now. But when the leader of not only the friend group but the faction has to actually become, more focused on real life and stuff, then well, it
It
doesn't
dies.
work anymore. Like it dies. I sure I'm good enough to command the army by myself, but I can't foster that same group that the Salt can. And if he's not able, I'm gonna be honest, if he's not able to be there, we've tried this time and time again. Like myself and other marshals, we cannot run this group by ourselves. It wouldn't matter how many new 12-year-olds joined. Like they're not experienced enough to lead it yet, and neither are we without the main person either. So
What do you think will happen now to the main part of FFE, since it has mainly fallen apart?
so we have a high com server, and almost everyone that was remembered in the Immortals channel, like all the long lasting people who had a major impact on FFE in general, are being invited to the high com server, so we can like keep them closer. Like we still, even today we just had a game night. Like we're
Oh,
not
I'm in
going
there.
anywhere.
I'm in there.
Yeah, yeah. We had a game night. Like we're not going anywhere. But sure, we're not fighting and doing drills every single day anymore. But the main people who really enjoy FFE for what it is just stay in. Because we're all friends here, man. We stay for that.
What do you think was the hardest time for FFE?
The hardest time in FFE's history was, man, there were so many, like, not just down periods, but like total shutdowns. Like I was an officer in the Young Guard a long time ago, a couple years ago, and the community we were in died. The Napoleonic genre was doing really shitty, mostly because big communities like Gories weren't doing anything new. They got stale. Everything else got really stale, you know. And I was trying to find battles because like FFE was dead. It was literally just me and my couple close friends in the Young Guard and the Old Guard that I took with me. And we fought like 10v10s maybe like once every 2 weeks, man. Like I was trying to, like, it's so hard going from rallying 40 to barely getting 10 and thinking that's amazing, like every 2 weeks. And it's just like I felt like I was doing something wrong because I was responsible for him. So I think that was like one of the hardest times, to be honest.
Now that FFE has mainly disbanded into a lot of different nations, what are you planning of doing?
What do you mean disbanded into a lot of new nations?
Since, because Salt has said that he has no real interest in leading FFE, to my knowledge, 15E and a couple other people has started up their own nations, same as Prince
Mm.
Jack. Are you planning of following any of them to any of their nations, or are you going to start your own, or just not play that much?
Um, no, I've actually joined Gory's guard around the same time I joined FFE, kind of the same time, and I spent so long, grinding my way to get to his old guard. It took like multiple years, and then once I got there, it was like, ugh, like why did I waste all my time getting here just to get like this stupid uniform? Like they don't even care about me. Like if I left, they wouldn't even notice because I'm just another statistic they put on their giant rally sheet. And I've never experienced another nation other than FFE where that wasn't the exact same way, where they just don't give a shit about you. Like you're just another number. So personally, for me, I am not gonna follow. Uh, I'm I'm not gonna follow Jack to his new nations for a multitude of reasons I'm not gonna talk about, but I'm loyal to this all, and where I'm gonna stay in this friend group, and like I'm gonna go to college in a year too, so I don't really see myself having too much time to start my own, because I know I'm a valuable asset. I'm like a very determined person once I start something, and I know if I joined another group right now, I could become an officer within a month easily. But I just I'm out of gas at this point. I spent so much time and effort on FFE, and it was like really fun. I don't think I have enough juice left in the tank to start all over again.
What did you think of the Sulk personally?
Man, he's a very interesting individual, Like when all you do for a period of time is just like show up to rallies for like that's what FFE is sometimes. You just kind of show up, like game nights are an all-time low. You just sort of fight every week. That's how it is sometimes, and you just hear this voice, this familiar voice. Like that's what the assault was, like the one giving out orders, doing all that, and you sometimes forget that there's an actual person behind the screen. And once you get to know him after a while, man, like if you show him that you're a very genuine person and you can be loyal to him throughout, like we've been through some very hard times, you know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
our group and the Marshall chat specifically, it's been very tough sometimes hearing about what he's going through in life, and like I get it, he's a real person, and like sometimes you just don't realize it. It's not just a voice that you hear on the other end of the microphone saying, "Oh, charge the enemy." But personally, like he's just like an overall great individual. Like he has his quirks, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, like one day I'm gonna meet the guy. I hope. Maybe when I'm like I have a family of my own, just drive down North Carolina, see this guy I've been talk taking orders from online and virtual battles for so long. But yeah, I mean, you never know until you actually meet the person.
What did you think of the Young Guard that you were in charge of for a while?
Man, like I remember when I first joined the Young Guard. Like I remember specifically the assault. Like we were, it was after a battle, and I had some crazy snipes that day, and with like a rifle. Like we were just playing a skirmish, and he was like, "Oh, guys, go whatever you want." I went rifle, and I hit some crazy shit. And the assault, I said these exact words: "Oh, TTV, you're good at rifle. Why don't you join the rifle?" So I joined, and like the second I was a ranker for a while, you know, like I was pretty good at the game, but once the leader of the regiment, like his name was Turtsy, he's a disgraced member of the group now. But uh, after he sort of didn't do shit, I didn't want to see my regiment die, and I sort of took charge of it, you know. And man, like that, I remember my first drill, bro. I was a little squeaker. Everybody was making fun of me, but after you do enough, you sort of gain their respect. And I felt like personally, I was able to foster a community of my own with the Young Guard. Like I was able to build really close friendships with the people in it. It wasn't just like, oh, show up for a rally and get promotion. You know, like they were my best friends. And I think we did like really good. You know, like we like in some battles I would just take them and we would absolutely fucking decimate the flank. Like I think when I was in charge of the Young Guard, it was pretty good. But like maximum rally was 5 or like 6, 7, 8. You know, I never had rallied anything big, but
And when you did rally, they were amazingly well trained troops.
oh yeah, yeah. I would like I a couple days ago after FFE ended, I pinged my squad of like young guards. Some of them are still in it. Some of them moved on to other regiments. You know, to become like higher officers and shit. And I was like, "Yo, guys, thank you for sticking with me through that like little period of time when I was able to lead you guys and become best friends." And yeah, I was never able to get a rally more than 10, let's be honest. But there were people in FFE who took Young Guard after I did and made it much better, in my opinion.
Whenever her 45E went against when we were ordered to skirmish the rifles, which was under your command, we were never happy with that order due to the fact that we knew of your guys' skill, and the only one hope that we all admitted for us was to engage in melee. That's how scared the rest of 45E, which was a line regiment, which was supposed to rally more than your young guard. That was how scared we were of
You were scared of my Young Guard.
you. We were scared because we knew that we cannot hold up in any kind of range competition.
So, I'm gonna be honest with you. By the time your 45E regiment was formed, I wasn't the commander of TDG anymore. I wasn't commander of the Young Guard. I was just like a very seasoned veteran that's good with the rifle. I have to credit Hapifty with that because he was like Hapifty has always been there with me. I gotta give him a special shout out to Hapifty. He's been there every single step of the way through TDG with me, and you know I built TDG in such a way where we were Rally 6 and games like Lille, Catsback, all those cool death stuff, and you know he sort of took that after me and built his own that I'm a part of now, and you know all these members in TDG now, like I'm not their commander, Hapifty is, so I have to credit him with that scaring the shit out of 45E. Like, we never fought you guys, did we?
Oh, and
45E?
internals. In several internals when we did.
Oh, internals. Yeah.
Whenever that happened, when we saw where you guys were positioned, we always kept more of an eye on the rifles instead of the old guard.
Yeah.
We always kept whenever the first one of us died, we always went to check more on rifles than the old guard. We
Right.
were
Like,
more
there's a
scared.
certain fear factor Hapifty was able to build with the troops and with accuracy. Like, you know, if you step out of cover, you're gonna die because either me or someone like Louis is gonna snipe your head from half the map. Like, you just know it's gonna happen. We were
You just
trained that way.
know that when you move out, there's a high chance that 2 rifles are going to hit you dead in the chest, and it doesn't matter what range you're going down.
Oh yeah, easily. Like you can watch. I've been collecting TDG clips of everyone hitting shots. Like basically if we see you, you're gonna die. That's how it is. I love that.
Are you sad that the FFE is no longer going to be existing, except for all the friend group?
I wouldn't say I'm mad. I'm just like I've known in the back of my mind that the second all of the marshals, like we're all the same age, the second all of us went to college, it would be over anyway. Like honestly, there's nothing more I want out of this group. Like I've had every single memory I can think of. I've achieved the highest of possibilities in FFE. I've done everything I've ever wanted. Like I became the Salt second. I led the old guard. I led the young guard. I've done literally everything. So I don't think there's anything more that I would want out of this. So I can't really say I'm mad because like I know I'm gonna be 30 one day and the server's still gonna exist. Where and I'm gonna say, hey guys, I'm getting married, or like, hey guys, I'm having a kid, and they're gonna be like, holy shit, TTV, that's really good for you. Good job, man. Like we're all
Realize
gonna
just
be there
how
for each
old
other.
you are.
Hmm?
Yeah, so it would just feel like yesterday that we were just fighting each other in Lego wars.
Yeah. Oh, back in my day. But yeah, I'm not mad at all.
You're just you're satisfied that you got everything you could possibly get out of FFE.
I've gotten everything, man. I've got a really good group of friends. Like you check my medals, I have every medal. Like I earned that shit. And then I've commanded FFE by myself dozens of times. I've done everything. I'm satisfied. I wouldn't be mad. I'm satisfied.
Is there anything that you would want to say to the entire FFE?
Um, I just want to say thank you to everyone who stuck through it. You know, like without everyone here, the group wouldn't be what it is. Like there are multiple times in FFE's history where it was totally justifiable for me and like a million other people to leave, but we didn't because we knew we had something special. And I just want to say thank you to everybody. Thank you to the Salt for making this awesome fucking group we had. I love every single second of it. I don't regret anything, missing anything in my personal life like that wasn't that important to go to FFE events. I really don't. I love every single second of it. Just like thank you for showing up, you know, that's all we can ask for.
So if you were to get one day married, would you invite every single FFE member to the marriage?
Oh hell yeah. Like I know I'm going to have like my family from like 5 continents showing up. Well, except Antarctica, but like I got family fucking everywhere, bro. I'm talking Belarus, Australia, etc., etc. So like it's gonna be packed as shit. And of course I'm gonna have like a IRL best friend. That's gonna be like the best man at my wedding. But if I could, yeah, the Salt would definitely be on that invite list, and like Lemon, and Liam, and Half 50, like those guys for sure, easily.
Well, I
Like,
won't
I
take
know
up
I've never met them,
any of
but
your time, so I'm going to end this here. Thank
okay.
you so much. I want to send this to the Salt so you can publish this for the rest of FFE.
Thank you, David.
You're welcome. Bye.